just got back into the studio. It's turning cold. What happens when it turns cold? It happens once a year, the neck goes straight. How do you know? Well, firstly, you think, oh, the action's gone a bit nice. So the action is really low, very playable, but there's a couple of points on the neck where it's now choking. I don't know if you can hear that. Through the amp, you don't really hear it, but you do notice it. It's more plinky than kind of chimey. So I want to show you how to go into the dark art of changing the truss rod. Now, you don't really need to do a massive amount of this. What you'll find is in the winter, now it's getting colder, that the neck straightens up a little bit, so the action goes lower. And then in the spring, when it's warming up, the wood relaxes a little bit, and then the action seems higher, so then you have to tighten it. So I'm going to do it with you. So essentially, you want to think of it as you look down on it. So if you're turning it to your right, right tight, left loose. So I'll do it with you, just so you can see. And it's going to be like a quarter of a turn, if that. I think the fear can be where you think you've got to do like masses of turns, and then you're going to hear a crack, and that's the end of life as we know it. But it's really not that bad. So with this one, there's a magic tool that you get with your Gibson and the screwdriver on the end. And so I always have to stop and think about this. So I need to relax the neck so the action comes up a little bit. So I'm going to loosen it, which means I'm going to turn it top to the left. Or looking down on it, that would be anti-clockwise. So all I'm going to do is the tiniest little bit. That was maybe, it wasn't even the difference between 2 o'clock and 1 o'clock. Like, if it was a clock face, I've just changed it by 2.5 minutes. Actually, that's done it. Yeah, and you can actually feel the action is now slightly higher as well. There's a couple of moments on there where it's still a little bit snappy. So I'm going to do the same again, because I suspect that it's going to go potentially a little bit straighter. I've never had a guitar quite as obvious as the Les Paul to do it. They all do it. Telecaster, I've got on a Strat, they both do it, but this one does it the most sensitive to it. It's a curious thing. Someone with more knowledge than me would probably know why. It might be you know, the glued on neck thing, or the mahogany, or it just might be this guitar. There's a balance between how good it sounds, as in the notes breathe because they're not rattling against the frets, and then how comfortable it is to play, because the action is higher or lower. So for me, I'm happy with that. That'll work. That'll do me for another 6 months. If you're wondering, you know, do you have to get a luthier to do this, like a proper professional type bod? No, not really. And if you're asking, does this affect the setup? So you've paid all that money and you've had your guitar set up, you've changed the intonation and whatnot. No, none of that is changed by this at all. The intonation's the same. Everything is exactly the same. You're just tickling the neck just a teeny tiny bit. I'm trying to do this without wearing glasses. It's not going to happen, is it? Right, so there. That's the shortest video man's ever put on YouTube. See you soon.